people will build their own narrative about you, and you can't fight back about it because it's like plugging holes in a dam. So don't try. But there are points where someone big like IGN says something, and I'm like, okay, I need to at least take a moment to make this clear. Like, this is Peer Schneider, what a big Nintendo guy. I like the guy. And he's calling me out. Let me play this, and then I want to show you where he's wrong. And I don't like the fact that a big site like IGN, which I do like, is coming at me and going, Jaffy said X. No, I didn't. Here you go.
There was a funny moment with Metroid Dread. I will not name the game designer. I don't want to shame him.
I'm not shamed. It's me.
A game designer played Metroid Dread and was in a room, a self-enclosed room, and you have to shoot the walls to get out of the room, right? And like you can't do anything, and so of course you're going to use your gun and shoot around and experiment. And that was sort of to teach you that yes, certain blocks in Metroid games can be destroyed and you can find your way out, right? Like the game was sort of putting you in a box and saying, escape this box, and you figure it out. And like this game designer was really frustrated with that. He was like, there's no indication that I can do this. There's no sort of tutorial that teaches it to me. There's no visor or anything that lets me scan and see the gap that I could open up. And like, and he was frustrated at that moment. I always wonder if Nintendo saw that and said, maybe we need to give people more of a helping hand. And so,
okay, so yes, Nintendo, you do. For this game, if you want to make this game successful, the excuse of, well, that's Metroid, that's sorry. Okay, the days of that's Metroid. If you want to spend the kind of money you spend on the new Metroid, Metroid 4, you're going to have to kind of reacclimate people or introduce people better. But that's not even the point. The point is when and this is the real issue I had with it. The point is when he says he was in this box,
a self-enclosed room, and you have to shoot the walls to get out of the room. You can't do anything.
There's nothing else you can do, so you start shooting. No, Schneider, that's not the case. This is the room he's talking about. This is the Jaffy room that he's talking about. It's been dubbed the Jaffy room if you go to the Wikipedia, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you what this room was or is. Okay? It's somewhere on this map. I'm not entirely sure where. If I had been locked in a box and I had no options in this room we're talking about other than just shoot, I guess I would have done that. But I was in a map, and this is what the room looks like. You could go out. Yes, you could go back. And it wasn't like you could go back to the entire map, but you could go back to, here it is. You could leave this room and you could go back to like 30 other rooms. Okay, so and that was always my point. I'm like, look, if you want to train the player in a context, not tutorial, he's exactly right. Lock you in this room and go, hey, go with God. You'll figure it out eventually. But that's not the case. So what I did was I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what to do because the visual cueing did not register with me. The tutorial didn't register with me. And so I said, okay, fuck it. The answer must be somewhere else in this map. So I went through this door, and I had all these other places that I could explore. And I'm sorry, but pair what you're saying when you're like, Jaffy was in this box and he had no other options. I'm like, no, that's not an accurate retelling of the story. That's all I'm fucking saying. It's not accurate. So no, pair. You fucking lush. I don't know if he's a lush. I love his tweet because every Friday he just tweets the weekend and he shows us the beer he's drinking. And I'm like, it's so good. But I'm like, now I'm just going to say you're a fucking alcoholic. Not that anything's wrong with that. I mean, there is, but it's not like a character flaw. Look, you make a game and the game is intentionally meant to be obtuse and opaque and like, hey man, we want you to get online and figure it out. I think that's fantastic. And I think Souls probably has made it clear through PR marketing and enough loud word of mouth that most people are not going to go buy Elden Ring or specifically Bloodborne or Demon Souls and go, why isn't this like Onimusha? Or why isn't this as easy to play as God of War? I think they've done a good job of communicating that. Metroid comes out as a mainstream IP from one of the most beloved entertainment houses in the world. And I'm sorry, but most people have not played Super Metroid. Most people have not played the 8-bit Metroid. They just haven't. I had somebody on our Discord literally say, I like gatekeeping, right? Which is fine, by the way. But when you view it through that filter and you understand that a lot of these people, they want to gatekeep. They want to be like, no, you have to know what I know. You have to know the secret handshake. Totally fine. Totally fine. But then don't bitch about the fact that the game doesn't do well. Or don't bitch about the fact that as you want better graphics, they cost more, so they have to make the game appealing to more people, and they have to make a shallow end of the swimming pool to ease people in. Sorry. Those days that you long for are over unless you want to go play some indie games. Otherwise, fuck off. The AAA space is no longer for you. It just isn't. What do you want from me? It's just basic economics, man. You want to gatekeep, says PK, then there's a reason you don't get a new Metroid Prime for 18 years. I mean, ask yourself what the value of gatekeeping is. If you really just love that kind of game, there's tons of games that do that are indie, that don't cost a lot. But what's the other point? I don't want people to like what I like. It makes me feel special. Go to therapy. If you want to feel special, go to therapy, figure out why your parents didn't love you enough or communicate their love enough to make you feel worthy enough to walk this planet. Don't fucking punish the rest of us gamers that just want to play a good goddamn game. Look, I paid $60 for that game just like you did. I deserve as much of a good time as you did, you gatekeeping fucking motherfucker. You shouldn't feel attacked. I'm not bullying the guy. I'm just shooting the shit with, shut up, you goddamn young whippersnappers. You know, Gen X could bust balls. You guys can't bust balls in your generation. What the fuck happened? You guys lost the joy of ball busting in your generation. Anyway,